Easter is for skeptics. Yes, that's right. Easter is for skeptics. You might think, no, Easter is for believers to get together and go to church. Well, that's true. But it's also for skeptical people today, just like it was 2,000 years ago. Look at how he appeared to his disciples. And verse 14 says, he appeared to the 11 disciples as they were eating together and rebuked them for their unbelief, their stubborn refusal to believe those who had seen him after he had risen. See, these disciples were not expecting Christ to be alive again. And this is why it is utterly ridiculous when people suggest that the disciples somehow concocted the idea of the resurrection. It was a story they told, and that they actually took his body and hid it. Nothing could be further from the truth. The last thing the disciples expected was for Christ to rise. And even after Mary Magdalene had seen the risen Lord and gone and told them, they blew her off and said, oh, you're crazy. Are you serious? He's not alive again. So now Jesus appears to them and rebukes them for failing to believe, because he told them over and over and over again that he would die and that he would rise again from the dead 3 days later. And now it had actually happened. But they were skeptical. And maybe you've come here today as a skeptic. You know, the Bible also tells us that after the Lord had risen and appeared to his disciples, that Thomas was not there. And then the disciples told Thomas the next day, hey man, you should have been there. Jesus showed up last night and appeared to us. And Thomas made this statement, unless I see the hand in his hands, the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and my hand in his side, I will not believe. But 8 days later, he was there with the other disciples, and Jesus appeared and said, Thomas, go for it. Put your hand in here. Don't be unbelieving, but be believing. And Thomas, the skeptic, became Thomas, the believer, as he fell down before the Lord and he said, my Lord and my God.